Hello, welcome back. It's Patchy and we're doing Dragon Quest IX once again. In the last episode we made it to Stornway and got our party members. Our party members for this playthrough are going to be me, Nebula, Kuro and JT. So I am joined with all of the good friends that you already see on my channel. In this video we're going to be exploring a little bit of the area, showing off some of the enemies and trying to grind a little bit because we obviously need to level them up a little bit before we move on to the next boss. So now you have 4 party members. It's pretty much the same as just using yourself, but you know, 4 times over. You can set them to just attack regularly, like I did there. Some classes, like the mage, gets spells to start off with, same with priests. They don't get abilities, but sometimes they do get spells. I've leveled up to 7, I don't get skill points at level. Another thing that I didn't show off in the last one is that in tactics you can have different things here. Show no mercy, fight wisely, mix it up, focus on healing, don't use MP, and follow orders. So I'll actually show these. By applying them now. These are basically ways that your party members can automatically fight, so you don't have to decide what they do. Obviously, it's like a million times better later on in the game if you don't have it automated. But you can if you want. So there you go. So this is the hexagon again. We're in the back because there's a chest. And what does the chest contain? Well, it contains a suit of scale armor. And that suit of scale armor I'm going to put on... Let's see, who do I want to put it on? Let's see. I'll give it to JT. I think it's a good idea to protect the priest first. You know, healing us and whatnot. Plus, I already gave myself the hat, I have a shield, that sort of thing. So, what we need to do is we need to buy some stuff to get properly geared up. And while we're doing that, we should level up accordingly. Here we have a Winkster, which I'm pretty sure I did show in the last couple of parts in one of them. It's a mage guy. That's it, it's a mage. He casts spells and shit. Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Now, there's a little something about here, if I can find it. I think it's down here. The Winkster is chasing me, but I'm going to try and... Never mind. I'm going to try and ignore him. Yeah, here it is. There's a little item point where we get fisticuffs. A mushroom that looks like it's trying to square go. So we come through here. This is another area. Eastern Stornway. There is nothing much over here except from a few enemies that we don't see in Western Stornway. What I'm interested in, other than showing off the enemies of course, is... If I just quickly deal with him. Boof. So yeah, as you can see, pretty decent in terms of fighting normally. But JT ain't healing much. Even though he's supposed to be healing. Level up, and level up. We're all level 2 now, great. So I'm going to turn off the tactics now, just to be on the safe side. I'm going to have follow orders be the main one. No, I don't want to mix it up, I want to follow orders. Then we're going to go into heal all, which will automatically cast the heal spell until we're all at full health. All good. If we come down here, there's a little beach area, which is nice. We have some new enemies here that don't show up outside of the beach in Stornway. This guy here, he's a little bit strong for us right now, but, you know, might as well. So I have Glockenspiel here, which I'll show off, because I got that a while back ago. No abilities, no abilities, no abilities. Boof. 13 now. Whooper Troopers are pretty strong, but at the same time, Kuro has no defense because he is a mage, and mages have very small defense. Whooper Troopers mainly focus on deflecting attacks, so basically anything that's not a melee attack is fair game. But they like to do everything they can to reflect attacks and send them back at you if it's a melee. Which we're lucky it didn't do. Here we are, level 3 again, and we got Squelch, which heals poison. Nebula is going to learn Heal because Minstrel. And that's about it. You're going to see for a little bit that a lot of the spells that Nebula learns is going to mirror mine, because we are the same class. Classes can be changed later on, but for the first few areas of the game, it can't be, so we're going to have to just kind of deal with that. And if I come down here, there should be a little item deposit that we can go to. Although it doesn't always show up. All sparkly spots. There we go. I'm going to try and avoid the Whooper Trooper. I don't want to get into a fight with him. Yeah, we get seashells. They can't be used in combat as an item, but we will find use for them later on. That's going to be a reoccurring theme with the game, is that most of the items we pick up aren't going to be directly used until later. This is a Flython. It's a snake that likes to poison shit, and that's its main thing, is that it poisons. He is a decent bit stronger than the Whooper Trooper. What I'll do is I'll show off Egging On, so that'll be pretty cool. It's a good opportunity. Jesus. So yeah, Egging On increases tension, which increases the damage dealt from attacks and increases the number in which spells do. So if a spell does a lot of damage, it will do a lot of damage. Can we just fuck off? Yes, yes we can. We can fuck off. Yeah, so if you usually heal with Egging On, it will heal a lot more. If you attack, it will do a lot more damage. You can egg on a max of 4 times. Oh, 2 stun to move. That happens. It basically means you can flee or you can get a free turn. I'm taking the free turn. Staves with mages don't typically hit, but it's kind of useful. Because as you can see, Kuro is low on MP, but if the attack lands, it absorbs MP, stealing it from the enemy. We won't get much off of this, but it is pretty useful if you only need like 2 or 3. Oh, and he drops a medicinal herb. Pretty decent. We are going to still find use for them for the time being. You'd be surprised at how long you can use medicinal herbs for in this game. You would genuinely be so surprised how long it lasts. Now, that is a bit much enemies for me right now, so I'm going to flee. And because they're too slow to move, they're just going to leave. This area is full with bottom badgers, Whooper Troopers, Flythons, which are a bit strong for us right now. What we really want to do is farm in this area, because this area is more tailored to the level we're at right now. I mean, of course, the party members are only level 3, so they're more suited for Angel Falls right now, but because there's 4 of us, it kind of evens it out. It's now night time, so we can sleep at the inn if we want, or we can go and do nighttime things. I am going to buy weapons. So here we're in the weapon shop, which is exactly what it sounds, which sells new weapons. We have the Soldier Sword from Angel Falls, the Rapier, which is a bit pricey, Bamboo Lance, Iron Lance, Powering Knife, Bronze Dagger, Divine Dagger, Oak Staff, Wizard Staff, Leather Whip, Thorn Whip, Laundry Pole, Carrying Pole, Stone Claws, Iron Claws, Feather Fan, Iron Fan, and that's it. I'm going to start off by buying the Iron Lance for JT, because lances are awesome. And I'm not going to buy any weapon here. I might use whips for Nebula, I might. But whips don't do as much damage as swords, so I might just stick with swords. As for me, I'll probably do fans for a little while, just to kind of give variety. So we can go for some armor. I'm gonna probably save up a little more before going into armor though, because there's a bit of a pricey one that we need, which is chainmail armor, which is sold in the armor shop here, but it's 540 gold. So here we have the inn. This is the cheapest inn in the entire game. So if you want to rest, you're better off doing it here rather than in any other inn. There are plenty of other reasons to come here later on in the game, but I don't want to say too much until we actually get to those points. So the important thing right now is getting money and gearing up to go forward. Because unlike the first area of the game, this is where we do have to keep decently geared. We have leather, scale shield, bandana, hairband, leather hat, wayfarer's clothes, leather armor, scale armor that we got for free, chainmail, the leather dress, training top, silk robe, leather gauntlets, cotton gloves, cotton trousers, training trousers, leather shoes, and high heels. You'll notice none of my party members can equip these. That is because if you look at the little bits here and here, these are all the different class icons that we have right now. The class icons will show which ones we can equip certain equipment on, and which ones cannot use it. So warrior, priest, mage, and minstrel cannot touch these. Martial artists and thieves can. Now, I think I'm going to start off nicely. I'm going to get Nebula something. So what can we sell? I will sell the oak staff. We're not going to use it. Is there anything here? Well, we have the training top. I'm not going to use it, so I might as well just sell it. Because I'm not going to use a martial artist. So there we go. Fuck you, put the maid dress on. I hope Nebula's watching this so that he actually sees that I'm forcing his character into a dress. I think that would be really funny. Look at that, give us a little twirl. How pretty. But yeah, so more grinding is to be done, and then we can move on with the story, which isn't too bad. It shouldn't take too long for the grinding. I'm going to do all of it off camera except from this episode, so don't worry too hard. Because the grinding will continue on for a little while. It can go on for hours depending on what it is you're getting. We're going to go up this way now and have a little bit of exploration here. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and figure out how to cut out certain parts of an existing video file, so that I can just sort of edit out battles and not worry about them being there. That way it's a bit more convenient. Boof. There we go. So yeah, JT does a decent bit more damage now. which, you know, is exactly what we want. I always kind of focus on damage before I go for armor, but in this case, maybe armor's a decent way to go. We're going to give a little Kuro a heal. I don't know why enemies are just kind of going after him so hard right now. But hey, maybe he did something bad to me. And that's why I'm letting them punish him. So, you know, battling is going to be the exact same the entire playthrough. There's not going to be much changes other than abilities that we unlock. Which, you know, does change it a fair bit. But same general stuff applies. We got a level up for Nebula. Congratulations on level 4. I'll send you a gift. This is a little area that doesn't have much, I don't think. But it is a big spawning place for these guys. Meowgicians, which mainly cast spells, but they also like to hit things. Boof. Hit. That's another little system I want to talk about, is the bit in the corner. It says 2 hits, 3 hits. When you do consecutive hits, the damage will actually increase slightly up to the 4th hit, which will double in damage. So if I do a... let's say I do a critical hit, right? But it's the 4th consecutive melee hit that I've done. So I attack, and then Kuro attacks, and then JT attacks, and the 4th attack, all of which are just basic attacks, are Nebula, or... I'm struggling to explain this. So if the order is, say, I hit normally, Kuro hits normally, and then JT hits normally, when Nebula hits, so long as it is the next turn, will double in damage. So if he gets a critical hit that's worth like 200 damage, it will be 400 damage. It has to be consecutive though, and it has to be basic melee. If it's not, so like if they use an ability or a spell, that damage bonus will go away. So we get 1.2, 1.5, which means that that damage would have been lower had we not had 3 people hit in a row. You will notice that it does kind of change times when you're out and about in the overworld. That can be a good thing if you don't want to rest in inns and spend money to wait on night. At the same time, when nightfall comes, harder enemies come out. So it's a decent way to get a better challenge. Although if we really want a better challenge, we can just go directly north, because that's where mostly Whooper Troopers spawn. We're not doing that for now though. Give him a little smack. So we're not going to get much here in terms of leveling up. What I would like to do is show off some of the skills that our classes have, but I have no guarantee of getting that in this episode, so I'll just show you. If we go on to allocate skill points and pick, you can see the skill points. Sword skill, whip skill, fan skill, shield skill, and litheness. So, for however many skill points you get, you unlock different things. You can get abilities, attack increases, and the 100 skill points lets you use those weapons no matter what class you are. But, you know, litheness, you just get some extra. Litheness isn't something for all classes. All classes have their own special little ability here. So, Nebula would be the same as me because Minstrel. Kuro gets wands, knives, whips, shields, and spellcraft, which increases magical might. Very useful for mages. Then JT, who is a priest, can equip spears, wands, staffs, shields, and has faith, which focuses on magical mending. which is a very important thing if you are a priest, because it means the more that you have, the more your heals will do. Usually things like the basic spell heal will cap out at 30 points healed, but if you have a lot of magical mending, it can go quite a bit over. But you know, I've been rambling for a little bit. I'm going to end this one here, and I will get some of the level and money grinding out of the way. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more content, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!